everyone needs someone to look up to.
They're the people who make a difference in our lives and our world.
People who touch our lives in so many ways. Want to get inspired? Then join us today on
Vida.
Vida.
Hi, I'm JR Cardenas. Welcome to Vida, your life.
And I'm Vanessa Ramirez. You know, JR, there are so many things I think we find inspirational, like people who put their lives on the line to help others.
Or people who help the poor or those struggling in our society. On today's show, we think those generous and thoughtful folks have stories which deserve to be shared.
That's right, because when we allow ourselves to be inspired, we become better people too.
You know what I find inspirational, Vanessa?
What?
Your work ethic. Actually, people who care about our planet. And Cox Communications thinks so too. And that's why each year they celebrate the unsung heroes in our communities and their environmental nonprofit organizations.
Yes, and a past finalist for that award is the Tiger Mountain Foundation, an organization with a great heart that's sure to inspire. Just watch.
Tiger Mountain Foundation is about community coming together and looking for an initiative to empower themselves to do something very good in their community. The Garden of Tomorrow has a unique name, and the idea behind the Garden of Tomorrow is that all of us are intertwined in some way, and our futures are very important and very dependent upon one another. So in our community, there are lifestyle choices that have been forwarded, such as vacant fields, such as processed food, trans fat food, and this type of thing. The Garden of Tomorrow is something that is a Trojan horse per se that comes into the same type of conversation and says, you know what, we're going to start thinking differently. We're going to start doing things differently. In the morning, we're going to be very active. We're going to have conversations not only in regards to healthier eating, but more active lifestyles, and then ultimately better lifestyle, quality of lifestyle choices all across the board. And that's what the Garden of Tomorrow embodies. The people who benefit from the Garden of Tomorrow has been a pleasant surprise. Intentionally, we wanted the people of our community, and that's the South Phoenix target area, to benefit from the gardens. Pleasantly, what has happened is people from all over the metropolitan Phoenix area has come to say, hey, that is a really good best practice of how to get something going in your community, how to build the alliance and build that community together. And so the people who now benefit from Tiger Mountain Foundation went from our very local community to our metropolitan to literally across the United States of America. I would have to say that I'm a very lucky man. I have all of these different people who actually give me the energy to get out here every day and continue to build in our community. And so community building would be fantastic if Darren Chapman was the guy, but I'm very fortunate. I've had Cox Communications and other different organizations say, hey, you know what, we recognize good work in the community and we want to award that with some type of acknowledgement. And I'm just a recipient of all the great work that the community is putting in and all the great people who acknowledge that, including Cox Communications. I think most importantly, I really can't underestimate how fantastically grateful and fortunate I am as a human being to be able to start an organization and have people from the community lean into that organization and forward that message and forward that mission. We would love to continue for another 10, 11 years, and we hope people out there will see what we do and come down and visit.
It's important that groups like the Tiger Mountain Foundation get the recognition they deserve. We'll meet some other Cox Conserves heroes throughout the show. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired already.
Yeah, me too. And it only gets better. When we come back, we salute the men and women willing to put their lives on the line for our safety every single day.
Yeah, we're talking about you first responders. Vida will return right after this.
Vida is brought to you in part by Chicanos Por La Causa.
Hey, welcome back to Vida. Today we're recognizing the people who provide inspiration in our lives.
I've always been in awe of firefighters. I had an opportunity to put on the gear and train next to them once. I'm already sweating. Let's do it.
There you go.
Oh, what is that?
That's like nice.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh, this place is dark. When you literally walked in their boots, it's impossible not to be inspired by the stuff they do.
Inspired and impressed. Not everyone can do what our firefighters do. Just take a look. I'm surprised you survived that.
They perform CPR on me.
You needed it.
Hello, I'm Benjamin Santillan. Welcome to Fire Station 18. Oh, we got a call. Phoenix Fire Station 18 is actually the busiest fire station in the state. We've actually are close to targeting running close to over 20,000 calls this year, which rates us pretty high as far as even nationally. We do have two pumpers here, two fire engines that run 24 hours. It's both engine 918, which is the crazy train, and engine 18, which we call the hammer. We actually, because of the amount of calls that we generate in this area, we actually were approved to get another pumper, which is LA18, which is to help with the call volume. We also have Rescue 18 here, which is our ambulance, and also Rescue 918, which operates here at night. So we actually have 5 total apparatus, 3 frontline fire engines, and 2 ambulances that run out of this firehouse. In the firehouse, it's extremely dynamic. It's fast-paced, especially here at this firehouse. It just being so busy. When we get here, usually try to relieve our counterparts. We do have 3 separate shifts. So as soon as you get here, you get your equipment, you take their equipment off, you get your equipment on the truck, you start checking all your tools out. So that's from your air pack, which is what we use in fires, and also to all our medical equipment, just to make sure that it's accounted for and to make sure it's operating, because you just never know what you're gonna get. So just like right now, we ran a difficulty breathing, man down. We had various calls where they change all the time. So we got to go shopping. So every shift we collect money amongst ourselves and we pitch in and we basically cook. We go shop for close to 20 people each shift, and we cook lunch and dinner, and we go to the store, and we're still available, so we're still running calls. So we had all our groceries in the truck, and we still ran another call with that. So what we'll try to do is, along with communicating with each other, what we call is camaraderie, we run calls, we talk, we eat lunch, we still have to train, and that's just new training that's coming down the pipeline with the organization, anything that's going on in our community involvement. So sometimes that's what we have to do as well, is we have to fit that in our day while we're still running calls. So it's just one of those things where you're here for 24 hours, it's your home away from home, but a lot of times you really don't spend very much time here at the station, especially here at Fire Station 18.
Inspirational? You bet. Who didn't want to be a firefighter as a kid?
Well, I didn't want to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a pediatrician, but they're inspirational too.
Yeah.
But firefighters are pretty amazing.
I always wanted to play one on TV.
And I bet a lot of kids want to be one when they grow up. So you better eat your vegetables, kids. You'll need big muscles for that. That's why he didn't make the cut.
Oh, well, just as popular with the kids as being a police officer. We're all familiar with chasing down the bad guys. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Well, that's an aspect of the job, but there's another side to it too, and this one is just as important.
I can't wait to see.
Glendale's been around, and we're over 100 years. We call it 100 Years of Excellence. So the department started in 1910 So you're looking over 107 years now that we've been in existence, and we've come a long way. We've seen rapid growth, expansion. We've gone from a farm town to a thriving community. So we've really come a long way, and we're proud of the steps that we've taken, us and the community working together to kind of create Glendale and what it is today. One of the biggest things when you're talking about community growth and people wanting to live in Glendale, in our community, is public safety. But we also know that it's not just police alone, that if we're not joined with the community and what we call co-producing safety, working together hand in hand to make our schools, our parks, our neighborhoods safer places, that it's never going to work. Until we're all on the same page working together and we all have the same buy-in, we can only go so far. And so what the Glendale Police Department does is we try and take great lengths to bridge those gaps with the community, to have open dialogue, transparency, and to make sure that they trust us and that we trust them. Community policing, it's not just a philosophy, it's who you are. One of the things that our chief talks to our officers about and talks to the community about is that these officers, they're a part of the community. We are a part of the community. I grew up in Glendale, born and raised here, went to high school here, community college. My family still lives here. I'm invested in Glendale and in its success, and that's what we want, not only for our community members, but our police department. We want our officers to have a vested interest, but to have those interactions. So what we've done is we've created these events to have those opportunities. It's no secret that one of the biggest problems of facing American policing right now is trust in the community, legitimacy. People knowing that when they call an officer, they interact with an officer, that they're going to be treated fairly, that their lives aren't going to be in danger. And unfortunately, it only takes one incident. We're husbands, we're fathers, we're wives, we're mothers, grandmothers and grandfathers even sometimes. And that we go to the store, we shop, we go to parks, we coach our kids' sports teams. That's who we are. This is a profession and one that we're proud of, but it's just a profession. It's not who we are and it's not what defines us. And that's what we want people to know, is that this isn't just our job and a profession, this isn't who we are, but we really are just human beings. As a family, we hold ourselves to a higher standard, whether it's through our chief, Rick St. John, down through our commanders. You talk about a commander, Andre Anderson, who was an interim chief at Ferguson. After what happened there, that's who they sent out to be their interim chief. A Lieutenant Frank Balcom, who's no longer with us, but now is chief of Page. You look at these men and the women of this police department, when one excels, we all excel. When one falls, we all fall. We're seeing it, and what we're asking the community to do is just keep taking the next steps, and let's keep moving forward together.
Police officers and firefighters are always heroes, and the jobs they do and the risks they take on a daily basis for our safety, well, it doesn't get much more inspirational than that.
And we thank them for their service.
We'll be back with more stories to inspire, but first, meet Sean Redfield, the 2016 Arizona Cox Conserves Hero Award recipient. Sean serves as a full-time volunteer trail director along the 800-mile path from Mexico to Utah. He connects people with the land by engaging and inspiring volunteers of all ages to care for the Arizona Trail. Sean replaces gates, conducts trail work, and installs signage to ensure visitors have a positive experience.
We'll be back with more Vida right after this.
Having fun exploring community, culture, food, y más with Vida? Head on over to yourview.com for more videos.
Welcome back to Vida. I'm Vanessa Ramirez, and you know, JR, since this is an inspirational show, I figure we should probably be nice to each other from now on.
Okay, I got you. All right, well, she's Vanessa, I'm JR Cardenas. Vida is brought to you in part by Chicanos Por La Causa, and we couldn't be more prouder of our relationship with that very caring organization.
Recently, they celebrated their 48th anniversary, and you were there, JR. I bet it was quite the evening.
It was actually really cool. I got a chance to MC the event. I've done a few for them, so it's always really fun. I had a lot of fun. And this year, we got a chance to present awards to Jeanette Murguia, president of NCLR, and Cheech Marin, one of my idols.
What?
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing.
It was awesome. You want to see what happened?
Yes.
Take a look.
All right, be quiet.
He should be thanked for throwing one hell of a Final Four party. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Phoenix, Greg Stanton.
We know
that what these wonderful dreamers bring to our community and their vast potential as young leaders.
We're celebrating 48 years of existence. We're getting close to 50, so we're getting a little up there in years, but we've been working with the community, defending the community, supporting the community, providing services to the community, and that's what Chicanos Por La Causa was created for. So the theme of the dinner this year was called Cause for Change. You know, we honored two great national individuals. We decided to look at it on a national level, right? So we honored Janet Murguia, who's the president and CEO of the National Council of La Raza.
She is your 2017 Cause for Change honoree, Janet Murguia.
We have registered at NCLR since 2008.
It was a great way to honor an association that we helped found and to honor her for the great work that she's doing nationally for the community. The other person was Cheech Marin, the actor, comedian, humanitarian. He's a chameleon, he does so many good things. But what we were honoring him for was that he's been a big supporter of Chicano art. He has the largest collection of Chicano art in the world. And what he's been doing is sharing that at no cost. He's not making any money off of this. We wanted to honor him for that.
Marin, the 2017 Legacy honoree. We Chicanos, we are the vital force that is going to carry this country into the next 100 years. Thank you very much.
Both of them were so humbled, so great, and supportive, and signed autographs all night long. Cheech was very popular, and he was a good sport about it, and actually very excited to see that there was a group like ours supporting the community. The message was important. I felt as a leader and as my team behind me that we want to do a call for action. So the call to action was, let's work together, about working together to make change together. So the cause for change was the theme. People were excited, so that everybody benefits, right? That we make this country better for everybody and continue to be the most powerful country in the world.
I'm asking, are you with us? Are you with us?
It's about creating cohesiveness and togetherness, and again, together we're only stronger.
Please join me in the cause for change.
So the National Chicanos Por La Causa organization celebrated their 48th anniversary, but CPLC of Southern Arizona has its own anniversary coming up.
That's right. Chicanos Por La Causa of Southern Arizona will be celebrating 37 years of community service.
Wow.
And you can still make plans to participate in that event.
Yep, that's right. So mark your calendars right now. The celebration will be June 1st at the Desert Diamond Entertainment Center in Tucson. So contact CPLC for all the details.
We have one more amazing story to share, but first, let's salute another inspiration.
Okay.
The 2015 Arizona Cox Conserves Hero Award recipient, Marilyn Hansen. Marilyn retired from teaching in 1999 and turned her energy into caring for her adopted home in southern Arizona's Sonora Desert. She's a docent at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, a volunteer at Arizona Native Plant Society, and a volunteer lead for the Sonora Desert Weed Whackers.
Wow, she's a busy lady.
Through her work, Marilyn is preserving the desert ecosystem and educating others of its importance.
Exciting. All right, well, we'll be back with more Vida right after these messages. We're learning a lot about people today.
Yeah, she's awesome. Welcome back to Vida. Today we recognize people who inspire us.
Oh, we're still being nice to each other, right?
Yes, we are. You inspire me. Your work ethic inspires me.
Funny, we work the same jobs.
Your work kind of inspires me.
All right. People like the 2014 Arizona Cox Conserves Hero Award recipient, Greg Clark. Greg uses his engineering expertise to save the area's burrowing owls that nest underground. Their burrows are often crushed by heavy equipment, so Greg has led hundreds of volunteers in a movement to create artificial burrows, and more than 500 displaced owls have been relocated. I love that story.
What a great guy. Finding a new home is never easy.
Not for owls or for people. That's especially true for the men and women who served time and are ready to re-enter society.
Fortunately, Arizona Common Ground is there with a helping hand.
So Easy Common Ground is a passion of mine because I founded it while I was in prison myself. So at the end of a very long sentence, I needed to figure out how I wanted to release my passion and my purpose once I got out of the prison system. And one of the things that I knew very well is how to keep individuals out of trouble once they get out of the prison system. And then two, I also wanted to work in prevention, working with youth before that cycle of crime began. So it was birthed inside the prison system. And so that's where we began putting the conceptual framework together, and then about 10 months after my release from prison, we actually went forward and put the organization together, and it's been growing ever since.
How about you, young man? How do you feel today? Yeah, why?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Give me some. That's put 10 on that one. I love that answer. I'm a kid from South Phoenix. The streets of South Phoenix were changing drastically at a time when California gang members were coming in. That's when the whole crack epidemic came into many of the lower income communities, not just in South Phoenix, West Side, East Valley, of course, across the country. We weren't the only ones that felt it. It started getting into petty crime, and which only grew, got out of control. And although I finished high school, I don't remember much of it, but about a year and a half after graduating high school, about a year and a half later, I was incarcerated myself for the first time at 19. Everybody say the word visualize for me. Visualize. Say that again. Visualize. What does it mean to visualize? CPLC was huge in my life upon my release from prison. I mean, they were my first mentors. They were the people that first came into my life as a person newly released, and I was very fortunate, to meet them. But through that experience, I did make some serious connections with a lot of the business community within CPLC that also took interest in what we were doing. Remembering this is about community first, and always remembering that this is about community. It always was about community, and that's what I took from them. I think that's why we've always taken a grassroots approach and not forgetting where we come from. AZ Common Ground works with both youth and adults that have been either one, convicted of a felony or misdemeanor conviction, or two, are being recently released out of jail or prison. So we work, first and foremost, character development training is what we do. We focus on character and the development of character. Two, we get into life skills training. Mentorship is key to what we do, actually getting into the process of walking a person through the process, not just telling them how to do things. We have to walk them through that. Work readiness training, learning to navigate now that you have a conviction in your life. Job placement assistance, where we love to work with business folks in the community and actually connect people to better employment opportunities. Then, of course, community engagement. Those that are in our programs, we love to have them paying it forward and getting involved with volunteering. I think the best part for me is that I have been able to live out my purpose and my passion. And I think if anything else, that's to me, that's a life well lived. It's well lived, being able to know that I'm connected to God in such a way that I'm listening.
I hope this show has inspired you in some way or another.
Yes, it definitely inspired us to be nice to each other.
We are nice. High five.
Yes. And I hope it inspires you to check us out on Facebook and give us a like and a follow.
Now, if you'd like to check us out on our social media pages, we have personal social media pages like Instagram and Twitter. Mine is JR Cardenas. You'll find it.
Just look up Vanessa Ramirez and JR Cardenas. You'll find all our stuff on there.
Hashtag.
So follow us and join us next time on
Su Vida. You can follow Su Vida on social media too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag.